Welcome to the Pulse with Peter B. I'm your host, Peter Biancamano, and we are live from Hudson Media Group's North Bergen studio. Thank you for joining us for your weekly one-stop shop for sports picks, politics and government chatter, and even some neighborhood restaurant reviews. Instead of going to 3 different channels, you can come here every week for the Pulse on everything you need to know. And just a quick announcement, folks. We are going to be going on a little bit of a winter hiatus until January 5th. So don't miss us too much. And when we return in January, we're going to have some new sponsors, but we're going to have the same great Pulse team. So in the month in between, you can still follow us on our Facebook page. So make sure you go on our Facebook page and like and follow us, and we'll give you some updates the month in between. But why don't we start out with our picks with Peter B segments? And we're joined live in studio by Mr. Solo today, Devin Inholson.
Where's Eric?
Eric is taking, I guess, a little bit of an extra week hiatus,
Oh,
right or
that's
wrong?
right, that's
An extra
right.
week
He had to
hiatus,
get a head start
you
now. He had to
know?
get a head
So you
start.
ready for this? You're all by yourself, my man.
I guess so, yeah.
I
I'm
guess
ready.
so, yeah.
I can't
You
go anywhere
almost look
now.
naked, right?
It feels weird not to have his presence
It
right
does
here,
feel
but-
weird. So, folks, you spoke and we listened. There were a couple of comments on our Facebook page that said, hey, guys, why don't you guys cover some college football games? So why not? That's exactly what we're going to do today. And why not? Why don't we start with championship weekend in college football?
Yes.
And we have the SEC Championship. This is a rematch of last year's national championship between the undefeated Alabama Crimson Tide to take on the one-loss Georgia Bulldogs.
Right.
So, Eric, Devin, see? I'm normally calling Eric
I was
first.
going to ask, too.
Devin!
I was going to say, why don't you start off with Eric?
I was
That's
gonna say,
right,
you
that's
see?
right,
You see?
For a tribute to him.
Devin, what do you think?
What do I think?
SEC Championship,
All right,
buddy.
well, like you said, the rematch of last year's national championship, where a lot of people felt that possibly the Georgia Bulldogs came on strong last year where they weren't supposed to be as good as they were. And now they lost that game. They were up by 13, I believe, in the fourth. Now Georgia is expected to play well, and they're playing very well this year. Kirby Smart was a former player, and he's a former player at Georgia, but he was the former defensive coordinator at Alabama. I like how he's now moved over, building his own program there. So for me, Alabama, is almost as professional as you can get as a franchise. It seems like they're obviously the top program in the country. But
Nick Saban has those boys moving.
But the thing is, they're not. They're always known as a defensive unit, one of the best defensive units,
Right.
as they are third in the league in college football. But they're scoring 49 points a game on top of that.
Amazing.
So
they win, but they win big.
They win big.
Always.
But the thing is, it's not like 45-40 either. They'll crush you, and they'll only let up 7 to 10 points a game. I like Bama. Because I'm never.
How could you not?
But it's almost like picking against the Patriots most of the time, because you know that they have their program, you know how good they are, and for me, I'm not going to pick against them. They're undefeated. They're number 1 in the country. They're the best team in the country, and I think going against Georgia, with the former, it's like the Patriot way. Now you have Kirby Smart with Georgia leading their program, so they should be just as good. Continuing, they're getting good big top recruits, but I like Bama because where they are. They're the best at the top of their game. So.
All right, well, look, why don't we move into the NFL now, because we are still going to break down our 2 NFL games here. And stop the presses, Devin. Stop the presses, because the Cleveland Browns have won 2 games in a row for the first time since 2015. First time since 2015. But they go to Houston, and they play a team that has won 8 straight. Interestingly enough, the Houston Texans are the first team in NFL history to have won 8 in a row after starting the season 0-3. What do you think of this game?
Well, when's the last time we talked about the Browns? We talked about them early on. I think it was Chargers-Browns that game. I think it was early in the season. But for me, the reason why I really wanted to talk about this game is because now I'm starting to believe in the Browns a little bit more. Now they seem more comfortable. They seem like they've cut some of the fat, although I'm not going to get on Hugh Jackson for that, but they seem like they've cut some of the fat. They seem like they're gathering as a team, and I'm not going to lie, all the criticism that I had towards Baker Mayfield and how he felt that he was, but he was a rookie. His numbers were very low, third down percentage, completion percentage, all this. 7 touchdowns, no interceptions last 2 games, 148 passer rating, and he's completing 78% of his passes. This is a guy.
And it's like Drew Brees-like.
That's higher than Drew Brees right now. So what they're starting to develop as a team. You can tell it's Baker's team.
Right.
Bradley Chubb, Nick Chubb, who was with Georgia, by the way, and he was one of the top running backs of all, in Georgia's program. I like where they're going. They're heading in the right direction. And Houston, the reason why I'm picking against Houston in this game, I'm picking the Browns, is because, yes, they won 8 in a row, which is obviously very difficult to do. But if you look at their schedule, I'm looking at the strength of schedule here. If we're going to talk a strength of schedule, the Browns playing Atlanta, Cincinnati, Chiefs, Saints, Steelers, Chargers, Bucks. Look at those teams, high-scoring offenses, whereas the Texans, they haven't played anybody who was more than a couple games over 500, with the Redskins' best record 6-3 during that streak.
Exactly.
They beat Dallas, they beat the Colts early, Buffalo, Jacksonville. So what I'm getting at is they're heading, they're both on a winning streak, but I like where the Browns are, and I think they can beat this.
Well,
Texans.
why don't we get to our final game here, our second NFL game and our final game. We got the Minnesota Vikings coming off a huge win against the Packers last week.
Yeah.
They're going up to Foxborough to play a Patriots team that, I couldn't believe this stat when I read it, but you probably could believe this. They are 64-13 in the month of December since 2000, since the Belichick era has started.
Yep.
Do the Vikings have a shot?
Yeah. For me, if this game was in Minnesota, then I think it was a surefire. I think the Minnesota Vikings would definitely win this game. But I'm actually picking Minnesota in this game because
Look at that.
Well, Minnesota is a serious team. They need a statement win. They haven't really had their statement win yet. If you look at their schedule, they really haven't had they beat the Packers, but they where they're heading. I just feel like structurally, defensively, they still, again, we've mentioned this before, they still have the number 1 third down defense, which in these games, which is going to be tight, which I'm surprised it's not an 8:20 Sunday night game, game. Which every game they seem like they're having.
Every big game.
Every
NBC
big game
has,
is Minnesota or Patriots. But I like this Kirk Cousins. They paid him the money. Top 10 in yards, completion percentage, QB rating. He's doing everything they need. I think this is a game where he needs to play big. The Patriots are slightly inferior in the defensive department. And they're going to get the Vikings are going to have the ball a lot in this game. It's just a matter of converting.
Hey, really quickly, it's like the Dallas Cowboys have a shot the other night against the New Orleans Saints, and what happened? I mean, everybody thought a high-scoring game, and what happens?
Well, they were a good matchup for them. The Dallas defense flies around.
Were they ever? Did you see Jalen Smith out there the other night?
Did you see Van Der Esch as
Van
well?
Der Esch.
I
was at that draft live in Dallas, and I'm telling you, those
a lot of
fans
boos?
down there, they won't want the Ridley who went to Atlanta.
Yeah, because they couldn't pronounce his name.
Exactly. Anyway, that is Mr. Devin Inholson, our sports insider, every week here on the Pulse of Peter B. Thank you for doing this solo this week. Guys, when we come back, we have Mr. Josh Sotomayor Einstein in the studio. Stay tuned, everybody. We'll be back.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and launch inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights, your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments, carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants, all major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-2712.
Good Friend Self-Storage in North Bergen, New Jersey is a fully climate-controlled facility equipped with state-of-the-art security, packing supplies, a Refer Friend program, and multiple loading docks convenient for commercial use. Located just off of Route 3 at 4301 Tunley Avenue, Route 1 and 9. Call 201-867-2444 or visit us on the web today. Good Friend Self-Storage. Let us be your good friend.
Introducing the MyJCMC app, powered by Practice Unite. The free MyJCMC app puts the power of healthcare at your fingertips. Go to the concierge for access to referrals, scheduling, and appointments, see emergency room wait times, and get directions to Jersey City Medical Center health locations. Read the latest JCMC news through their social media feed, find a doctor, and more. The MyJCMC app. We belong to you.
Welcome back to the Pulse of Peter B. I'm your host, Peter Biancamano, and this is our Politics with Peter B segment, joined by Mr. Joshua Sotomayor Einstein, our political analyst, every week here on the Pulse. Josh, how's it going, my man?
It's good to be here as usual.
Good to be here.
Happy about, the holiday season, and I wish everyone the best of the holidays. Happy Hanukkah and Merry Christmas.
There you go. So happy that you choked up. I mean, so anyway, Josh, we witnessed something in Hoboken that I haven't witnessed in a long, long time studying Hoboken politics and being involved
Efficient
in Hoboken
government?
politics. Well, no, not yet. Not yet. Hopefully soon, though. And that was a planning board member being removed by the city council. As we both know, Mr. Gary Holtzman was removed by the city council after he sent an email out to basically recommending a list of lawyers to real estate developers. My first question to you is, could this have been dealt by the New Jersey State Ethics Commission as an ethics breach? Did the city council overstep their boundaries by doing this?
Well, at the end of the day, the elected body that the people of Hoboken put in place is the city council.
Right.
So I don't want to diminish the ability of the people to express themselves through their elected office holders to some sort of pseudo-expert appointed board that is kind of in the shadows and only people that know about it. It's very important that local government is accountable, and one of the ways that the professional political class try to get around answering to the people is by establishing these boards and giving responsibility to them, and it becomes a system of political patronage. And it's also a way for them to say, well, it wasn't me, it was them. And so you have that on the state level with the ethics board, and to a certain degree you also have that at the municipal level with the zoning and planning board, because if you look at our zoning maps in the city and the master plan, it hasn't been updated in literal ages.
But let's go back to the whole Gary, and then we'll get into the overall issue there. So the anti-administration members of the city council voted to remove Gary. We both know that Gary's a supporter of Mayor Bala. They voted to remove Gary. The pro-Bala council members, the two of them, Councilman Jabor and Councilman Doyle, voted to keep him. Was this a political move?
Well, on a personal level, I find council members Doyle and Jabor absolutely wonderful people. Politically, I could not be more juxtaposed their point of view in the world, and specifically and importantly Hoboken. But when it comes to the local issues of how our government works, it's good that we have a healthy opposition in City Hall. And there are problems, systemic problems in zoning and in planning. I was talking to a small-scale developer who used to develop some properties in Hoboken the other day, and now he's just doing stuff in Jersey City because when he goes before the planning board in Jersey City or the zoning board in Jersey City, they ask him, hey, we'll give you a variance. Can you add another floor or another couple of floors? They understand that you increase housing
Like wheeling
stock.
and dealing. I mean,
No, it's not wheeling and dealing. It's all
Sounds
open.
like that.
It's all open record and happened publicly before everybody at the meeting. It's not behind closed doors. But there they understand that if you increase the amount of housing stock, the relative price goes down. In Hoboken, he said, and I've heard from others, that you go before the zoning and the planning board and they squeeze you for this and they squeeze you for that, and at the end of the day, they still reject you after you've complied with all their inane requests.
they kind of make their jobs bigger than what it is, correct? Now, so these boards, whether any place in Hudson County, Jersey City, Hoboken, even Kearney, are they political patronage positions, or do they actually put people on these boards who are qualified to serve?
Well, listen, there's a lot of dedicated people that really care about our community. I know, I think he's a planning board member. Ryan Peen is an excellent example of someone who has a really good sense of civic duty, wonderful guy, family man. And so there's a fair amount of people like that on these boards. And then you have the different type of person who is just preening for a little bit of importance that they haven't gotten their other avenues of their life, and who exists in the amorphous political camps or political tribes that exist in Hoboken. So it's an easy way for one of the political tribes to satisfy the ego of one of their members that's on the second concentric circle out, to say we're going to put you up for this planning board or zoning board or whatever else board it may be position, and then people get a little bit of taste of power, and they essentially it's a vicious cycle, right?
And I think you missed something here. Do people use it as a political stepping stone as well? Listen, there are two council people, Councilwoman Fisher and Councilman DeFusco, who are respectively on the planning board and the zoning board, and now they're council people and could be looking for higher office. Do you think people are using this as a stepping stone?
Well, people have, people will, and there's nothing inherently wrong with that.
I'm not saying there is.
If people care about their community.
Right.
The only
and they're still volunteering their time, absolutely.
The only real issue is when people when people confuse their desire for self-importance with the needs and the rights of everybody in town. And that's often what happens when we have these boards, whether at the municipal level, county level, state level, or federal level, of unelected, appointed people that are not accountable, that make these decisions that reach into our daily lives, into every aspect of them, affect our pockets because it affects our rent, and affects how much we pay in taxes, and it affects everything. It affects the schools that we're able to send.
As you know, I was on the school board for 6.5 years, and it certainly had a much larger effect than what people realize. Let me ask you this, Josh. Do you think the public should have more say in these boards? Obviously, it'll be very, very, very expensive to have elections for planning board and zoning board and things like that. But could anything be done for the public to have more say besides going to a council meeting and speaking highly of a member of the public that wants to be on a board?
The thing that needs to get done is for the public to stand up and say that these boards have too much power, that these boards have essentially creeped into everyone's apartment or house with the decisions that they make, and have essentially taken away the rights of people to do very basic things. You shouldn't need to get a permit to change a toilet in your house. It's nobody's business but yours which type of toilet you want in your apartment, but you do. So we don't need elections for these boards. We need to pass ordinances on the municipal level and law on the state level that'll curtail their ridiculous power that just raises the cost of living for everyone, whether they're in the working class, the middle class, or the upper class. It just raises the cost of living for everybody in town.
I agree.
It's not acceptable.
And we have a few seconds here, really quickly. Are qualified candidates being overlooked? Meaning that do people who want to serve their community, do they have to basically volunteer on a political campaign and hope that person wins in order to actually serve their community?
Well, essentially yes. That's the way it works. They have to get enough juice with whatever political tribe, bring enough people to their support, show that they bring that elected office holder enough value in terms of the amount of people that they hold sway over. And that's how, oftentimes that's how they get appointed.
Well, Josh, thank you for joining us. Josh Sotomayor Einstein, our political analyst, every week here on The Pulse with Peter Beeg. We'll be right back. My Rana's back, folks. Stay tuned.
It takes more than a state-of-the-art medical facility to make a great hospital. It takes a team of dedicated medical professionals. That's the Jersey City Medical Center, Hudson County's #1 hospital. Medical teams consisting of New Jersey's top doctors, Magnet Award-winning nurses, and accomplished hospital associates, all committed to your good health. That's what you have at the Jersey City Medical Center. Make Hudson County's #1 hospital your first choice. Visit us on the web at barnabashealth.org.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers a quality of life you deserve in 10 high-rise rental towers with amenities such as the on-site Newport Path subway, light rail and ferry service, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Sears, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams Supermarket is just outside your front door. A health and fitness club, spa, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. NewportNJ.com. Enjoy the New York skyline from Newport Town Square. Manhattan is just one path stop away or quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Want to visit Newport? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. Go to NewportNJ.com for details. Newport has luxurious towers, great restaurants, shopping, New York skyline views, schools, playgrounds, a marina and yacht club, gym, spa, fine wine, fine living. It's incredible. It's you. NewportNJ.com. Newport, live like you want.
Pan & Pinto Properties, Jersey City. shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office spaces that address your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment, adjacent to all modes of transportation with on-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. Call 201-521-9000 or visit online at panapintoproperties.com. Panapinto Properties, building Jersey City for everyone.
Welcome back to the Pulse of Peter B. I'm your host, Peter Biancamano, and this is a segment that's been missing the last 2 weeks, and that is our Places with Peter B segment. And we're joined live in studio by our resident foodie, Myrana of MyGoodies.com. And today, she's going to be talking about Buddy Who's, located at 247 Washington Street in Jersey City. Welcome back. How was your vacation?
It was good. It was kind of like a staycation. I was up in Massachusetts, but we almost didn't leave the house. We ate all day.
You ate all day. What did you eat? Because I did tell the audience, I was like, look, I know she's trying new places up there. Yeah. What did you have?
Well, we had Thanksgiving catered, so nobody had to worry about cooking, but Whole Foods catered it. So it was delicious traditional Thanksgiving, but because I live on my own, I never get to cook Filipino food myself because that's a lot of food for me to cook just for me. But my whole family cooked up a storm, and it was really good. That's
what I like to hear. Yeah. That's what I like to, and I'm sure you missed us, didn't you?
I did.
Because we certainly missed you. Trust me. I mean, always making us starving, but that's okay. That's okay. So, Buddy Who's. Yeah. We mentioned just about the Hamilton Inn that we reviewed before you went on your vacation. Yeah. Again, I did a little of a Google Street View. It's in a very, very quiet neighborhood on a corner where I feel like I've driven by many, many times. I mean, am I right or wrong? I mean, you can almost miss this place, correct?
It's actually in an interesting location, very community, not too busy, not on a busy street at all, but you have the post office right across the street.
I did see that.
And then it's not too far from any of the financial buildings and Exchange Place. So you'll see people going there for lunch, and it's open pretty early and quite late. So there's always people in there, but I think it's a little bit off the grid from where all the typical restaurant, like that little area is, but people still know about it.
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. I looked at those reviews. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. And now Buddy Who's. People were like, Buddy Who's? Where did this name come from? And we were actually talking about this before the segment began. Why don't you tell the audience how the name came about?
Well, Buddy Who's, obviously that name's going to stick with a lot of people because they're like, what does that even mean, right?
Exactly.
So the two owners, Greg and Paul, it's actually named after Paul's parents. When Paul's mother was being approached by
they went to high school
Paul's,
together.
I think it was one of his stepdads or one of his parents, and his friends actually went up to her and said, hey, would you like to go on a date with Buddy? And she was like, Buddy who? Who's that? Right? So it kind of just stuck, and then the recipes are inspired by their own family traditions. So it only made sense, and it's a great conversation starter because you're like, what do you mean? What do you mean we're going to Buddy Who's? What's that?
So what's funny is I also read on our website to piggyback on the story that every time Buddy handed a card to his wife, he signed it Buddy Who, which I thought was fantastic. Actually, about that. Well, why don't we get into the food, right? Because that's what the segment's all about, baby. So breakfast and brunch menu, and one item stuck out at me, and that is the cereal stuffed pancakes. I put in my script, OMG. OMG. Have you had them? And which ones?
I mean, their cereal stuffed pancakes, they've been featured on Dessert Insider. So those feeds on Facebook where they have those videos where you're like, is that real? Do people really eat that? Basically, it's traditional battered pancakes, but they stuff Fruity Pebbles, Twix, Captain Crunch, Cinnamon Toast Crunch. So all really good cereals. And so it's 2 for 1, cereal, pancakes, all in one.
What else do you want, right?
Right.
And I just have to ask you, the Fruity Pebbles is more of a crunchy cereal. Obviously, if you put it in milk and things. Is the crunch still there when you bite into it?
Yeah, and it's also, so it's incorporated into the pancake, so it's a little bit softer than you would eat with regular milk.
Obviously,
but they'll top it off with some fresh cereal, so you still get the best of both worlds.
Then you put a little syrup.
Yep.
Oh my God, that is. Ugh.
It's not even syrup though. It's actually it's like a raspberry syrup, so it complements it pretty well. So it's not too sweet.
So it's kind of the fruit.
Because the cereal has plenty of sugar already, so it's a nice balance between the two. Really delicious.
Unbelievable. So the rest of their menu. Their lunch dinner menu is kind of like your upscale diner fare. They have steaks, they have pasta, they have sandwiches and things like that, burgers, of course.
Right.
Anything stick out at you, or anything that you tried before?
Absolutely. So what I love about them is not only you can have brunch 7 days a week, you're not limited to the weekend, but you can go in there and have like delicious lunch or dinner items, such as their burgers. I think their burgers are like kind of like my standout, why my family and I go there the most. Their Buddy Who burger is cooked to however you like it, so I usually get it medium. It comes with sweet chili sauce, some garlic butter aioli, some Gouda cheese, and some pickled onions, and it's just kind of like, it's delicious.
To die for, it sounds like, right?
Packed with a punch, and it's like everything you can imagine. And you always have to get their garlic fries. So their pommes frites, their garlic fries. Their fries are cool, but you have the option to get like either a Chipotle or garlic fries, and it complements it so
Then they
well.
have cocktails, right? I
Yeah.
noticed their cocktails menu. I mean,
Yes.
why not, right? You're going in there for brunch, you have to have a cocktail.
Yeah.
So let's talk about their ambience very quickly. It looks very intimate. I mean, again, it looks like a small place. I mean, would you say that it's cozy, or?
I think it's really spacious, so this would be the perfect
Interesting.
restaurant for groups. So you'll see every single weekend there's always a line, a waiting time for you to, get seated for brunch, but it's still cozy at the same time, and I've never experienced bad service there. Their staff is extremely attentive, and they're really personable and just friendly overall. It's a great environment.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And their hours. So let's talk about their
Yeah.
hours. So they're open 8:30 a.m. to 10 p.m. Monday through Wednesday,
Mm-hmm.
8:30 to 11 p.m. Thursday and Friday, then 9:30 to 11 on Saturday, and 9:30 a.m. to 10 p.m. on Sunday. One of the things I've noticed, and not so much on the weekends because
Yeah.
people wake up late and things like that, is for a breakfast spot, they open a little later.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, is it because they serve breakfast all day, or so what's the best time to go in, I guess?
I would say probably like in the afternoon, like you'll beat the rush like for the people who are there for like their quick lunch, in the financial district that's close to like Exchange Place.
Right.
But I'd say like on the weekends is the funnest time to go because the energy in there is really, really like just
That's
vibrant, fun, and you're enjoying food, with your favorite people at the same
So
time.
during the week, it's kind of like the corporate crowd, like the
I would
stuffed
say
shirts,
so.
we'll
or
call
just
them.
like people who are in there hanging out because they have like weekly specials. So on Tuesdays, literally all day happy hour. So you have discounted drinks all day, and on Thursdays it's 50-cent wings after 5 o'clock. So you really can't complain.
It's a taste of everything. Now,
Yeah.
really quickly,
Yeah.
does it kind of compare cereal stuffed pancakes? I've never seen that before.
No.
But their other menu kind of compares to like a lot of places in the neighborhood, correct? Can you compare anything?
I would say it kind of gives me like Brownstone Diner vibes,
Ah,
but they have like a
interesting.
contemporary twist on like comfort foods. And if you're looking for more like I don't know, just like intricate dishes that have like unique ingredients in it that kind of like as a twist on your favorites, then this is the place for you.
This is the place.
Yeah.
Oh my God, we missed you.
Oh, I missed you guys.
And it's too bad we have to wait another month now for another food review. But that's my Rana, our resident foodie here on the Postal Peter B every week. But you can visit her website, mygoodies.com. I'm sure she'll be doing some updates for you and making you hungry as much as she makes us hungry on the Postal Peter B. Folks, we want to thank you for joining us this week. And like I said, we are going to be going on our winter hiatus now until Saturday, January 5th. But go to our Facebook page, like us, follow us, and you can and we'll certainly update you on all of the happenings in sports, in politics and government, and in food reviews. We'll see you on January 5th, everyone. Take care.